Now we should be looking good. Are we looking good? We are
Left
looking
side,
good. Perfect.
Left side.
All right.
The following moments may contain explicit language.
It starts with a quarter, a phenomenon that had to happen when the TV set married the computer.
In the arcades.
An old favorite is back.
We've played every game until we're bored of it.
In arcades across America, pinball is bouncing back.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 13 of Modern Man in Search of High Scores. This is Lawrence Adams alongside Dean Robley, and we are here to bring you the news, insights, philosophy, and life lessons of pinball, as only two seekers from Santa Cruz can. How's it going, Dean?
Good, dude. Haven't gotten any high scores, but I'm definitely still searching.
I got 3.95 billion on James Bond. And I texted that to you the other day.
You sent me that.
Yeah,
You did.
I actually gloated about it online, and George Gomez commented on it.
Yeah.
So he was like, awesome, so I said, thanks for the great game, because I was like, dude, it's George fucking Gomez. I gotta say something. But no, I did get a high score. I've been seeking for high scores, and I finally got one.
Yeah, is that your personal?
That's my personal best.
Yeah, you keep everything set hard too. So
I do. Yeah. No, it was not an easy game. I was 3 modes away from the actual final wizard mode in that game, which is just so nuts. And it just makes me want to play it more.
Right.
To be that close. But no, it was the dopest game of pinball I've ever played, because it was probably 35 minutes or 40 minutes long just to get that far.
And it was just getting lucky, and then you hit the shot. Yeah,
exactly. There were because there's 28 modes in that game.
Whoa.
So to get that far,
it's all the Bond ladies.
Yeah, I actually, so that'll be not in that game, but I have gotten the full 6 Bond women twice in one game.
And then you unlock Harem multi-ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It took us a little while to get this episode in the can, ladies and gentlemen. We don't really feel bad about that, but I will say that we were somewhat sorry. Dean was busy, then he got sick, then I was busy, then I had to end up, start looking for a job. So sometimes things take some time, but we're back with you now. Yeah. And on today's program, we are going to be covering the early years at Stern and examining the games we feel specifically kept pinball alive with their sheer and simple awesomeness. That's right, we're talking DMDs from the pinball dark ages, starting in the year 2000, where pinball was all but dead. It's no secret that during this time, Stern produced a number of stinkers and license-driven titles that were just there to keep the lights on, but they also had the juice to put together some unequivocal classics that managed for a second or a third time to save the game. But first, arcade and pinball news. There's a lot to talk about pinball news-wise right now.
Yeah.
There has been nothing but new releases coming out. First off, Spooky has announced their long-anticipated game, Beetlejuice. As of this recording, we've only seen the teaser, and it has the translite, which I don't know if you ever saw it, but there was an early, I think it was around the Evil Dead launch. Franchi was on a podcast, and in the background, he had Beetlejuice translate.
Oh, that's cool.
And so this one's...
Those are the fun little things that if they don't blur it out, you're just like, look at that Easter egg.
It pretty much gave it away to the entire community, but they didn't confirm it, so it just kind of looked like something.
It's not like anyone wants surprises anyway.
Exactly. That's exactly
people need to save their money for specific reasons.
Right, exactly. What's interesting, though, I noticed, and I don't know how many people did, but the current translate, the one that's in production, obviously has been edited, and I'm guessing that's because Jeffrey Jones, who played the dad in that movie, he has...
The 88 version?
In the Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice.
Yeah, 88.
Jeffrey Jones played the dad. He has had a number of sexual scandals, including propositioning an underage girl and having child pornography, which is pinball's no stranger to guys like that.
Juicy, dude.
Exactly. So he's off the translate.
Huh.
And other than that, all we know is that there's a feature that will allow you to start the game by saying Beetlejuice 3 times instead of pushing the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty dope. I gotta say, theme immersion is a big reason why I play pinball.
I wonder if it will work in an arcade.
That was also my question. I think it's going to be, first off, there aren't going to be a lot of Beetlejuices in arcades, right? Okay. It's mostly a home use. Spooky's a home. Yeah. And then the other thing is, from what I understand, it's probably like one of those optional things where it's like, if they use it in the game, you could probably use the action button instead of using it, right? I don't know. We haven't seen it yet, but I would imagine that's how it's going to be. But yeah, that was my first thought was, how the fuck are you going to do that in an arcade with people screaming and everything going off? It'll be interesting to see.
Like it.
But I love it. I love what they're doing there with as far as theme immersion goes.
Was Candyman the other guy you could summon back in the day where you like say his name? Yeah.
Candyman was dope, dude. That was Tony Todd. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. But that was Candyman was
that movie just scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, he was scary, man.
I was like, there's a guy behind the mirror, dude. Like, every mirror, like there's someone back there. Oh god.
Yep. I know. And then you get older when you're on drugs, and it really scares the shit out of you.
Yeah, like that's me in the mirror. Gotta play some Michael Jackson, dude. Man in the mirror.
There you go. Yep. And Barrels of Fun, moving on to Barrels of Fun, they managed to release a game without any leaks. And it is a certified banger. I can say that too without even playing it. It was designed entirely by California native Carl D'Angelo. The game is based on the California amusement staple, the Winchester Mystery House. And the game is California to the core. And it's about time we got some California love.
See? That's my whole reason for being, and I'm so excited other people felt the call.
I am too.
Like, let's get West Coast.
I agree. That's when one of my driving forces in putting out media is there is not a West Coast voice out there that's really just driving the way we feel home for the rest of the country.
Yeah.
For the rest of everybody in pinball, really the rest of the world. And I mean, so I've watched Carl streams forever. There is not a game the dude can't blow up and just beat. I mean, he's the only dude I've ever seen that can beat pinball.
Awesome.
He really is awesome. And I've heard a lot of podcasts going, nobody really knows about the Winchester Mystery House, and they're kind of right.
Okay.
But dude, we do though.
Yeah.
Like I literally used to work across the street. My first practice was literally across the street. I'd go over there to the sort of mezzanine like cantina place they had and eat lunch.
Yeah.
And like read the plaques on the walls about all the guns and stuff. So I really cannot wait to see it. I hope at the very least, I would imagine they sold out like within 24 hours, right? So
that's cool. So it must have been Barrels of Fun.
Yeah.
So it must have been like what was it, Spooky, how they kind of sponsored Scott Danasi with TNA.
It's similar to that.
Where they're just like, they wanted to see his idea come to fruition. So like, we got you. Let's just do what you do. And we'll kind of, because Barrels of Fun is out of Texas.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're out of
so
Texas.
they just kind of like, hey, like, let's get some support to you.
Yeah.
We want to see what you got.
From what I understand,
that's really cool.
This was on another podcast. I believe it was the Flippin' Out Pinball podcast. Shout out to Greg Bone and those guys over there, Zach Meany, and yeah. So they were talking to Barrels of Fun and Carl, and I guess what happened was Carl was working on a whitewood that was kind of one of the worst kept secrets in pinball. And they knew about that. And so they approached him, but they were like, okay, we can't do your whitewood for, I think it's licensing reasons or something, right?
Yeah.
But they had Winchester Mystery House sort of as like a back pocket license.
How fun and random. Yeah. Mystery Spot Santa Cruz, just get all the weird materials.
Exactly.
Places. Oh my God.
That'd be great.
Let's do it.
And so, of course, and people are saying this, and I believe it's true, that the game sold out like in less than 28 hours, certainly less than 48 hours. And it was on the name of Carl D'Angelo. And I believe that's totally true.
Sweet.
Hearing that someone who plays pinball that well, right, and who has been a figure in pinball media for as long as he has, knowing that, we have not had a win in pinball design this big since Keith Elwin made Iron Maiden. Like that was, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just on top of the world when it comes to playing.
Yeah.
And having him make a game, that is so drenched in California lore and love. I want to play it, and hopefully the Winchester Mystery House at least gets one for their lobby. I'm gonna go over there and see.
Oh man!
But like it, and it looks amazing too. The art looks fantastic. The Pepper's ghost effect that they put in there for the ghosts and shit. Yeah. I'm all for that, and all the diverters and stuff. Like they kind of have it's almost like Gilligan's Island style, like a turntable in it.
Okay.
For the diverter, right? So it's like a big circle that spins and it changes the ball paths.
Yeah.
To sort of mimic how lost you can get in that fucking house. Yeah. If you guys, obviously most of you probably will have not been, but if you've never seen the Winchester Mystery House or been there, it is a labyrinth. It is a maze, and it is absolutely crazy. I went there when I was younger, the day before the '89 earthquake, and my cousins were there during the '89 earthquake the next day.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were stuck in the Winchester Mystery House during that gigantic earthquake.
Then they get all rattled, and they're like, now we really don't know where we are.
Right, exactly. Like, and they all had to like shelter in place in the middle of a place where if you wanted to panic and run out of there, you couldn't. Like you were
right.
stuck.
Yeah, it's like some weird corn maze of a house.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. So anyways,
that makes me think of like Meow Wolf. You know, if you go to the like Meow Wolf in New Mexico, that's kind of the same weird thing where it's like, I could totally see Meow Wolf wanting to sponsor someone to make some super psychedelic strange like game based off their weird story of their family getting lost, and that's the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, I think the lesson here is not only have someone like Carl, there's nobody like Carl, but not only have some pinball pro make your pin, but guys, developers, boutique manufacturers, go choose these little slices of weird Americana to be the theme for your game, and it will sell.
Yeah, we don't need another rock band. We don't need another cartoon.
We don't. Stern has all those licenses locked up. Yeah, just give us weird local shit.
Some like Mount Rushmore like drops out of the mouth of like the president. You break the Hoover Dam. It's like all the national monuments.
Right, and with the wizard mode would be like fucking Crazy Horse Rides Again or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh man. Wow. Cowboys and Indians, dude.
That would be dope, actually. Now I'm doing it in my head. I'm thinking about what it could be.
See? Actually, that's the best part. We're playing like mental virtual pinball.
Right. But anyways, sincerely, congratulations to Carl. That is a fantastic achievement. It's something that only most of the people in the hobby could dream of actually pulling off.
Right?
And I'm just super stoked that it's him that managed it.
Yeah.
Next up, DPX, Dutch Pinball Extreme, has announced Raza. Retroactive Zombie Adventureland. They are pulling that old Papa Duke chestnut out of the fire one more time. And fuck that. Fuck all of that. Fuck them for doing it. Fuck anybody who's going to buy it. Fuck everyone involved with it. I just cannot. Why? Why is there this fascination with stuff? I mean, here's the thing. I get it, though. Like, I am a big 90s Papa Duke fan. I love all of those games. I'm not gonna split hairs here. I unequivocally love those games. But people have been burned on Raza.
What's Raza?
Oh,
yeah. Crucify me now.
Sorry, I just figured you kind of knew. So, retroactive Zombie Adventureland, and alongside like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, right?
Okay.
Like those were Papa Duke titles that he already pre-sold to a large number of people in the community with his company Deeproot.
Okay.
Deeproot never made a game.
So now they want to kind of finish the.
They're trying, but they're not going to finish it. They're not going to give it to the people that already ordered from Deeproot. They're just making a new version of it. And this is like the third time now people have tried to resurrect it.
Dang.
And this is if it actually goes out to anybody, this will be the first time no one's been ripped off on it, which really means that the people that got ripped off are like now triple ripped off because they also paid for the game and won't get it. Huh. So it's just crazy to me that they would even want something with that much stink on it.
Yeah, it's like making jambalaya out of a chum bucket.
Right, exactly. It very much is.
It's all good. People,
dude,
they've never had fresh ingredients. They don't really know what it is. To have like original thought.
From what I understand, so a lot of people are high. The people that are high on it really love the art. I've seen the art, and I gotta say, I kind of dig it. It's like it's like what it sounds like. Retroactive Zombie Adventureland. It's pretty cool art. However, from what I understand, the version that was made doesn't shoot correctly. And so it's kind of a game that's, to say it's unfinished is kind. And I just, I'm just done. We gotta move on. Pinball as a hobby needs to move on from Papa Duke. Like everything that was, like, if you guys want to remake his old games, right? Like, what's the company that remade Funhouse?
Pirelli. It sounds like the tire company.
I don't know why I'm dying
Something
on this
like
one.
that. Pirelli
or something.
Peretti, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is it Italian? It just sounds Italian.
I'm sure I got this wrong. Let me look it up. But while I'm looking it up, if you guys want to do that, if you guys want to remake Papa Duke's games and sell those, like if you guys want to remake me a Totan, fine, I'll buy a remake.
Dude, soccer, but make it hockey.
That would be dope as fuck.
I've had so many people want that.
I would buy it.
I've had so many people want that. I'm like,
I would buy the shit out of that.
Bad idea. Dog soccer, but make it hockey.
Pedretti.
Wait,
Pedretti. I don't know why I was blanking on that. But yeah, if you guys want to do that, fine. Remake something that people can already buy on the used market, but trying to make something that people have literally lost probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on. And I'm not talking about the companies. They lost more than that. I'm talking about the pinball fans have lost money trying to buy this game and are not going to get it. That's just fucked.
That hurts.
Don't do it. Just stay away from it.
It's okay, though. We ain't mad at you.
I'm not mad. It's just fucking stupid. Like, I don't know why they would do it. The boutique manufacturer Hexa has announced that their next pin will be the Three Musketeers, which, whatever. It's fine. Is what it is.
Is that the one with D'Artagnan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Three Musketeers as a story is good. Yeah. I'm actually a much bigger fan of The Count of Monte Cristo. That's actually my favorite book of all time. But no one's ever going to make a pin out of The Count of Monte Cristo.
Three Musketeers like Dante's Inferno kind of deal?
You know what? I mean, I don't think I remember much of that.
Yeah, don't quote me.
Yeah, don't at me.
No.
And then Stern finally officially announces The Walking Dead Remastered. This is we'll get into the art and what people are saying about it. But first off, I just got to say this is a much different remaster than what we got with Metallica. Like, the release copy says that the code is/will be expanded upon and that there are new features as well. But it almost hints at all of this. It gives no specific details on any substantive information on code additions or improvements. The mechs themselves have been improved, which look pretty awesome. And at least the Well Walker has visible movement additions in the video. There are claims of improvements to all of the mechs. At the very least, I can imagine that the Bicycle Girl ramp has been made more sturdy and that it sits smoothly with the playfield when down, so you don't break off of it all the time. When it comes to the show assets, there aren't any. They did not do what a lot of people thought, which is include the show clip into the media. There are some iconic scenes from the show that have been kind of painted over to match the art of the game, and those have been put into the DMD. But here's the thing what I'm going to say. So when Metallica came out, they fucking mastered. Like Metallica was a fantastic game that is now a flawless game. Yeah. Like the remaster is fucking that good. Yeah. And that's not what we got here. Right? Yeah. What we got here is a nicer art package and presumably some additions to the geometry and stuff that just polish it up a little bit. Yeah. Probably make it a little less hard, a little less clunky, and probably make it so the fucking magnets don't just drain on you automatically.
Yeah, and it's an e-bike girl now.
Right, e-bike girl. But we're not getting like the full, like basically a second game like we got in Metallica, where now it's got so much on top of it that it's much bigger. I'm sure we're going to get some stuff, but like it's not nearly the overhaul they did on Metallica. And I do think though that one, Stern is trying to train the audience that this is what remaster really means. Yeah, right? We're not always going to go all out and to actually take all the development time to give you a new game.
Yeah, you need something really for the interns to do.
Yeah, it's just a polish, right? Yeah, and a new art package.
Which is spending so much time on Pokemon, so it's
exactly. But this is the first time though where I'm actually going to eat crow and change what my stance is. I think this means we could get a Ghostbusters remaster. Ooh, because if they're not going to go back and they're not going to actually like add a bunch of shit in, right? Like maybe you get a couple extra. Maybe you get a new mini wizard mode, and maybe you get a couple extra things on top of the way it works. But you don't get what they did to Metallica. You don't get you don't get the video assets and shit. You just get what they did on the DMD, painted to make it match the art. Yeah, if that's what they're doing, then yes, Ghostbusters, Tron. I think we could get those. Yeah, because there's nothing to them. Like there's at least there's a lot less than the workload involved with Metallica. Yeah. So yeah, a couple of funny things that I always got to point out just to poke fun at the pinball community for. When Star Wars: Fall of the Empire came out recently, everyone was shitting on the fact that like they mentioned so much about how much about the number of assets, video assets in the game, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, big deal! They have all these video assets." And when you play the game, there are a ton of freaking assets in the game. Yeah, and everyone was shitting on that. Now that The Walking Dead comes out and has no video assets, everyone's shitting on that too. So it's like, dude, pick a lane, guys. You can't have it both ways unless you just want to bitch.
They got a budget.
Yep, and in that case, you're outed at this point.
What's it called when you make your own assets? I don't know.
What's that? Fan fiction?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to get Ghostbusters, Tron, and everything else. I mean, what do you think? I mean, have you watched much of the video on Walking Dead?
No, not particularly. I just love that game. It's one of my favorite colored DMDs.
Me too, absolutely.
Like that for me highlights my kind of era and aesthetic, right? If you can make these little figurines just walk around as dots, and it's so gory for a DMD display, like that is just neato. Like when you have like the matches at the end, it's just like a bunch of intestines, and like, I'm like, whoa, dude,
it's badass.
Like that makes the game for me, and the game it's itself, a John Borg, so just a beast of a game,
dude. It's
like I don't know how you can make it any better.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Make it darker, I guess. More strobe lights.
Right. In fact, I mean, that brings us to the art package, right? Like, so the new art package is much more colorful. Yeah. I would say it's much more refined. Yeah, here's the thing. I actually personally like it a lot. Yeah. I can see what people are saying when they say that, like, that composition of orange and blue has been leaned on very heavily recently.
Orange and blue?
That's what the side panels are. They're like that orangish like darker orange plus like a darker blue.
Like the blades on the inside or exterior?
No, well, exterior. I haven't paid much attention to the blades. I think the blades will probably match the playfield.
Okay.
But like the outside of the cabinet is very stylistic in that way. And that orange and blue composition has been used a lot lately.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, in pinball.
Orange and blue. Does that mean that the Broncos are going to win?
Heck, hope not. Fuck the Broncos.
It's written in the stars. Who knows, dude? Someone's writing this shit.
But here's the thing that cracks me up too is that like whenever I hear people in pinball media talking about an art package they like, they will always pause to give you the qualification of saying that like art is subjective, right? And even though they like it, other people might not like it. However, people have been dunking on the art online nonstop because, you know, it's similar to other art packages that have come out. Yeah. And in this instance, because everyone kind of decides we're going to dunk on it, nobody ever gives the qualifier of art is subjective. They just feel very comfortable shitting all over somebody's hard work.
Yeah, I will say one of my favorite color combinations is like if you do the almost more of a salmony orange, you know that with an electric blue.
Yeah.
Dude, it almost feels like you have 3D glasses on.
Yeah, they have the electric blue part down.
Yeah, you're working with like tertiaries at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it creates the weirdest effect on your eyes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that orange and blue combination is a known... Like there's some level of information on this where in art it's known to be a pleasing combination for people, right?
Yeah.
So the way that so again, it's been very recently, especially it's been very heavily featured in Hollywood posters, in pinball, in video games, and everything, right? So the fact that they've leaned heavily on that again, but again, that's the other thing too is when did this art package get made? I don't see how people can criticize this as being something they just did yesterday, right?
Right,
so,
of the time.
Right. So I just find that to be a bunch of bullshit. I personally like it. Looking at the playfield, and again, I'm not one of the people that didn't like the original art package. In fact, seeing this new one almost makes me like triple confirmed that I just want to go find a pro for the classic one and buy that for like $3,000 or $4,000, which is what they've gone down to now. So
I love that game.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
It is mean. It is a bastard. And the thing is, like, in fact, I just heard Pin Pals were talking about this, and they nailed it by saying that the game doesn't really take you on an adventure like most games where you're playing through modes and you're building the story and you feel like, you know, even though you're playing pinball, you feel a part of that story. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead makes you feel like you are just surviving.
Yeah.
Like that's
Which is what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
so like every reward is short-circuited by the fact that the game is that hard and you're just trying to keep alive. So I don't mind the old one, but I think the new one's cool. I think the playfield art looks great. I love some of the Easter eggs they put in there, like the magnet in front of the well walker has like a piece of art on it now that looks like a well that's been covered up by wood that's cracked through it. You can see the well walker down in it. The pops look great this time. I am curious to see if they fix the exit from the pops a little bit so that it doesn't drain straight down the middle. Although this is the one thing I'll take umbrage with before we move on to our main story. A lot of people talk about this for multiple games across pinball, right? How like if a ball exits the pops and can drain from that there's some problem with geometry. And my argument is no, that's not true. Now, on Walking Dead, maybe there's stuff you can fix it up with a little bit so it doesn't happen all the time. But the reason pops exist, other than what everyone says about how it just gives you more time on the playfield, is the pops are a randomizer, right? They're going to randomize your options between a couple of paths. In The Walking Dead, there's a little bit less randomization that goes on because you have a narrow exit, which again speaks to the game being super difficult. But you've got to nudge when you're in the pops. You still have some level of control. And I can name you 50 games where an exit from the pops can lead to a drain if you're not paying attention. Shit, Lethal Weapon 3 does that.
Adam's Family hard.
Dude.
Yeah.
Adam's Family is a bitch on that in that regard. So yeah, I just don't, that's my last statement on The Walking Dead as far as this segment goes. I just don't buy that argument. But I am curious to see what they've done geometry-wise. It looks like they may have actually shifted the drop targets a little bit, which would kind of piss me off if they made it easier. I don't want it easier. I just want it polished up a little bit.
Right.
I am happy to see, though, that the premium version of the game now really does look like the definitive version of the game if you're trying to go forward with new stuff, right? And it's Spike 3, so it's dope. I don't think anybody who buys this game is going to be disappointed unless they don't like hard pinball.
Dude, I just had a thought, so you're talking about the well walker, right? That little like weird baby thing that's just like right there. I haven't really paid too much attention as to what the new one's like, but when you were saying that, I thought you were saying that it was like just a well
Oh, yeah.
And then I was thinking like, oh man, that'd be so cool if like a little fan came on and like blew up a little figure that crawled out of the well. And then it's like, blah, you know, just like flared around. But then I was like, that would be way cooler if it was the ring themed.
Yeah, I was going to say, Spooky, pay attention, because the ring could actually be a really dope pinball theme.
Dude, that might be really sick. With all the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you make it, what is it, Ringu?
Exactly. You use the original, right? Yeah. And you could do like the static, like almost do like Pepper's Ghost with the static, so you cover the playfield up. Exactly.
Oh, man.
That could be dope.
Yeah. You heard it here, sketchy ones only.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the To Catch a Predator.
Yep.
That would be sick. Oh, man. Dude, we just came up with like 5 new ideas.
I know we did.
Dude, see?
We got them on.
Hopefully they're listening to what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully our numbers are going up, so hopefully the right people are listening. All this stuff is free, people. So
dude, yeah. What was I was also thinking like like thriller mode, like some weird mode. It just goes to like zombie thriller. They'll start dancing.
Oh, see that would be cool.
Or you hit a DeLorean and it takes you to like World War I, and you end up in like World War I Nazi zombies.
The thriller thing though would be dope because like they've done shit like that before though. So like Tron had
Daft Punk, yeah,
and Godzilla has Blue Oyster Cult,
yeah,
and like you could just add a thriller mode in the middle as like
why not
on the way to Last Man Standing, just add it when you get to like 50 zombies or whatever as a mini wizard mode. That'd be fucking sick.
Right.
And that's the way the news goes.
Moving on to our main story, the machines that saved pinball. Tonight we're talking about the machines that saved pinball again. Pinball has needed saving how many times at this point? Like you had pinball being made illegal and Roger Sharp saving it. And then you had pinball essentially dying again at like the mid 70s, 80s period.
With modern TV or screen games, right?
And then you had at the end of the 90s, now what we're talking about in basically the year 2000.
Yeah.
Pinball was like stone dead.
Yeah. The PlayStation and home consoles were just...
That's what really was causing it, right? That's some of the reasons. So arcades were dying. Home consoles were finally catching up, offering graphics and gameplay that actually rivaled what you get in the arcade. I'll never forget, dude, like I had a Dreamcast. I was one of the lucky few.
Oh, yeah. That was like Sega, right?
Yeah, it was Sega's last console. And when I saw Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on my Dreamcast, and it was what you played in the arcade. It was not different.
Yeah.
It was what you played in the arcade. Yeah. I knew that moment that arcades were dead. And that was that same exact period. So it's kind of crazy.
Arcades are kind of coming, like even, I haven't been in the, like, what do you call it? The arcade side of the arcade?
Just the video game?
The video game side of the arcade in a minute, but I walked over at the one at the boardwalk, like Coconut Grove kind of zone.
Yeah.
And dude, you're playing on like a giant.
Oh, things are different
screen,
now.
Dude. I was like, whoa, that's so sick. Because I thought like when I would play over at Revelry in Watsonville, we would like put the projector on the side of the warehouse, and we're playing on like a 20-30 foot screen.
That's
like,
awesome.
This is sick, right? Yeah. So I'm like, no one gets that. But now I walked over there, like, whoa, you're kind of what they're getting. Like,
I mean, at 20-30 feet, but you've got like a 5x8 or whatever.
Dude, like, a massive screen. I could totally see like kids getting down with that. Yeah, and you're like playing Tekken or something, and you like everyone in the full audience gets to like watch you play.
Yeah, games are. It's funny though, because like, and hopefully it is coming back like that. Most games though that are new are not super skill based, right? Like you have Raw Thrills, who is basically a gaming company, but it's like the video game side.
Okay,
they're making all the new games, like things like Halo and Aliens and
Big Buck Hunter,
all that shit, where it's like big screens, hold a gun, and just pump money in and shoot, right? Yeah. It's a modern beat 'em up, right? You don't have to even use a joystick.
Remembering combos.
Right, exactly. So, like, that's why I'm hoping that we do start seeing fight game. Like, I don't see why, because the online gaming experience, too, is also questionable for all fight games. So it's like, dude, if you started putting, like, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, if you just went ahead and start putting those back in the arcades, I wonder what would happen.
Because then you get kids hanging out and meeting up for head-to-head battles.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't try that.
Kids are realizing that it's good to meet other people.
I think ever since COVID, everything's kind of changing.
Yeah, they're like, hey, let's meet up and like beat each other in person.
Exactly. So it's exactly. I want to see you.
Yeah,
right?
I want to see you cry.
That was so we don't have any arcade news really, obviously, but the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection came out, and I've been warming that up so that I can start streaming it. And I am missing the like trash talking element, right? Like if I'm whooping someone's ass, I can't lean over and be like, you got punked or some shit, right? Or like I can't see their face when I perform a babality or some shit.
Right.
So I really do miss that. It'd be nice to see people. The other thing that was happening though at that time was operators. They were the backbone of pinball sales, and they stopped buying new machines. there were no reasons in the year 2000 to drop $4 or $5, $6 on something that wasn't earning like it did in the early 80s or the early 90s.
Yeah.
And as operators bailed out, they sold off their old games, which the resale market exploded. But the new sales, total free fall. If you go look at the data, they were just absolutely gone.
Yeah.
So then in 1999 came the big hit. Bally Williams, they were the king of the 90s. We're talking Addams Family, Medieval Madness, Attack from Mars, Monster Bash, all of those iconic games. They shut down their pinball division after Revenge from Mars and Star Wars Episode 1 underperformed.
Ooh.
Now, it's worth saying Pinball 2000 was not a total flop. It was financially successful, just not enough to keep the doors open. And you can see that I don't know if you saw the Tilt documentary.
Probably.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime right now. And I'm going to tell this to the viewers too. If you're interested, go watch it. It's an actual documentary that's footage from that time of the creation, execution, and launch of Pinball 2000, and the reception of it was phenomenal. In fact, if you go back and watch it, it's like when it came out, pinheads were all about it. Now those games are like sort of laughed at and cursed at.
Yeah.
But like, this was not a tournament scene. People were playing for entertainment, and they were way into it. So it's kind of crazy that, and Midway probably already made the decision before they launched Pinball 2000, to be honest, but they were going to close the doors, and it's just crazy to me though that the thinking is that Pinball 2000 was unsuccessful, but it wasn't. It made money. They just didn't want to, they needed it to make more money, I guess, for it to stick around. Around that same time, Sega decided to exit the pinball business altogether as well.
Bummer.
Their reasoning was simple. The arcade market was collapsing, pinball wasn't profitable, and Sega was shifting its focus to home consoles, or at least rather to the Dreamcast, which they really quadrupled down on, and it was not as successful as they needed it to be, but that's another podcast. Their pinball division had become a financial drag, and their final game was Harley Davidson in 1999, which some of you are going to say, wasn't Harley Davidson the first Stern pinball machine? Wasn't it the first one? And the truth is, this is where things get interesting. It was. Gary Stern, who originally founded Data East, you guys might know him, he stepped in and bought the Sega pinball assets in late 1999, and he renamed the company Stern Pinball that we all know and love today. And that included the factory, tooling, parts, inventory, design staff, and existing game licenses, including Harley Davidson. So the first official Stern game was Harley Davidson, a second edition in 2000, basically the same game with a different logo. That was the moment Stern became the name in pinball, because they were the last man standing, which is very appropriate for Walking Dead release.
So how about, what was it, Dragon Fist, or the 1981 Iron Maiden?
Oh, yeah.
Are those not Stern?
Those are a different Stern.
Oh, cool.
Those are
this is the tale of multiple Sterns.
Yeah, well, so I can't remember when...
Sterns, dude. The Burn Sterns.
I can't remember when the original Stern Pinball closed.
Okay. Whoa, this is crazy. So there's a journey of back and forth thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it was originally Gary Stern's dad, right, that had the original Stern, which was actually Stern Electronics. They weren't Stern Pinball.
Okay.
So different company name. Both of them
just highlighting some of the things that they would make.
Yeah, exactly. So
those games are insane. I love.
Oh, dude, I'm such a fan of the old Iron Maiden.
Oh man, dude, those are you feel that game? It's so well made.
It's a beast,
and it just feels
they're
good.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're still standing and look so good to this day.
Okay, so those were the OG Sterns.
Those were the OG Sterns. They have that different logo where it's
it's block lettered kind of.
It's pretty cool.
I do like that.
So from 2000 on, we enter what I would call the pinball dark ages. I've probably heard that from other people too, but I'm going to pretend like I coined it. So this was a time when Stern was the only manufacturer. Photoshop-style art was everywhere, and budgets were so tight that ramps became toys. Every single game needed to make money, and there was no room for failure. For Stern, that meant leaning on big licenses and pushing out new titles quickly, trying to attract an audience that barely remembered pinball in the first place. Even with those efforts, not every release hit the mark. A lot of them are forgotten now, and others are only appreciated today thanks to the competitive pinball scene. Tournaments give new life and new context to games that didn't shine when they were launched, which is actually crazy though, right, dude? How many games do you know of, I'm trying to think, Iron Man, for example, which is a game that actually did help to save Stern. I think it's on my list, but Ironman is a very simple game, and it was liked when it came out, but because of competitive pinball, you see it in almost every tournament that you step in with, right? Yeah. There are a lot of ones on my list here, too, that are like under the honorable mention category that we'll get to. But that's what we're talking about today, folks, the exceptions. The games that cut through the post-Y2K noise, the apathy of the post-arcade generation, and the low expectations of the diehard players who never left. These are the machines that didn't just survive the Dark Ages. They made people care again. They're the ones we look back on now as certified bangers. Yeah. Even if one or two aren't your personal favorites, you have to admit these games were hits then, and they're still hits now. So let's get into it. Let's go through everything here. I got a pretty juicy list. People can mail us. So, folks, we actually have a podcast email address finally. insearchofhighscores@gmail.com is how you can reach us and let us know if your list differs from ours. But my first one on the list is Monopoly from 2021. This was Have you ever played Monopoly?
2001.
Sorry, 2001.
Yeah,
1991. I
lost the last 20 years. I don't remember.
Have you ever played a Monopoly?
I've never.
So it's got the weird, constantly spinning flipper, which is also in another older game, but it's like in the older game.
Wheel of Fortune?
No, but this I'm talking about from the early area, like maybe like the 70s or 80s. There's a game that I cannot remember the name of, and it's got a flipper in the top of the playfield that just spins. It's a shitty game.
Safe Cracker or something?
No, it's earlier than that. But anyways, this one has it on the side, and it's a mini flipper. Pat Lawler is doing a much better job. But this is Pat Lawler's first game after joining Stern. It's a fairly traditional Lawler design, which is funny because basically that's what everyone says about every Pat Lawler game. A fan layout with a shot through the spinner ramp to the upper flipper, a go scoop, and a physical bank toy. The bank toy is pretty cool, actually. I should have grabbed some photos of some of these, but
yeah, check the links.
Yeah, I'll throw some stuff in. But the code is from Dwight Sullivan, which those two work together a whole lot. And what's interesting to me, though, is that when this came out, it's sold decent, right? 3,000 units is about what they estimated sold, which was decent for the era and very decent for 2001.
Yeah.
But the reception was mixed. Collectors were stoked on Lawler's involvement and the way that it played.
Yeah.
But the Monopoly theme kind of felt dated to people. And the other thing was, it is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
The other thing was the fact that, like, when they saw that Lawler was the guy designing Monopoly, I don't know what people expected, but the hype was too big for its britches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Adam Sandler's such a crush.
Yeah, exactly. And everything else he's done, dude. Whirlwind. Like, you go from Whirlwind to Addams Family, and like, dude, those are like, you could own those two games and be happy for a very long time.
Huh.
But yeah, so it was just one of those games that was solid. It sold well enough to be considered like really successful for 2001. But what's funny is that the reaction when it came out was mixed, which I honestly also think, because we're talking about 2001, any reaction to anything short of like the second coming in a pinball machine would have been mixed.
Everyone wanted Spice Girls, that's why.
Oh, Spice Girls would have been dope.
Dude, was it 1999, 2000? Dude, we were just lucky to be alive.
That would have been dope. Second on my list, we get to 2003 is the Simpsons Pinball Party. I don't think anyone can deny
theme game.
Dude, yeah, sold 5,000 to 6,000 units, which is estimated. An incredibly strong seller. Keith Johnson and Joe Balser. It is notable because it has a hugely complex rule set. In my notes I said for its time. No, by today's standards.
Yep.
It has a hugely complex rule set. It's got tons of modes, deep stacking, and a forerunner of modern deep code there is no other game until this point that was like this. It is still a banger today. We have one here.
Yeah, great for stall ball.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of stalls in that game, dude. You can get a line of 30 people. Dude, you've got a solid stall ball game.
That's awesome. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's one of those games that, like, you can play it so many ways. Yeah. Like, you can, because of how many modes there are.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that the game is literally about stacking. Like, it's just stack shit. Like, that's the game.
Yeah.
And just, like, one of the best, no doubt about it, one of the best upper play fields to ever be in pinball.
So fun.
Yeah, just incredible. So that's our number 2 on the list. Then right at that same time, just about, we get to Lord of the Rings, which, dude, I saw one on Facebook Marketplace the other day. I think it was 15,000, 16,000.
Oh.
Yeah. And the dude, he got it too. It got sold.
Cool. Came with the ring.
Yeah, it might as well. It's George Gomez and code by Keith Johnson. George Gomez, of course, has famously said He was not a very big fan of the theme, and he was basically, the popularity of the game is just pure luck, I think, in his mind, because he was not. I don't know if he thought he was the guy to do it, but maybe we can get better answers out of George.
Right. He wanted to make a sick game.
Dude, what's great about it though is that it is, for that time up to that point, that is the deepest, most story-driven game of all time. Because you're playing probably, arguably, most people could make this argument, the biggest adventure, the best adventure story of all time, and you're playing it in pinball, and it is completely successful. I have only played this game a handful of times, but all the times I played it, I spent no less than like 3 hours at it alone. It's fantastic. If you guys haven't played one, you know, they've said that remastering this game would be a bitch because it's on the White Star system, and it's not even a SAM system game. It's all the way back to White Star, which was Sega's last operating system. So it's pretty brutal.
So is there any, like, how long were they in this pond by themselves, Stern? Like, so, when in the air does, like, any other kind of, like, company?
So the first one that would have been actual competition is Jersey Jack, right? Like that, and that happens fairly recently. 15 years ago now, if that, 12 years ago now. So, you know, like, it's pretty crazy. They were it. And again, that's why they could say ramps were toys, because, like, who was going to argue with them, right? They needed to make the games cheap, and they still needed them to be fun, but they weren't going to blow their budget on complicated mechs like Williams used to make, right? I'd say that's one of those crazy things where it's like, I have a Shadow, right? And like, it has some of the most complicated mechs when you're looking at it from the top and you're playing the game. So those complicated mechs you can imagine, when you get under the playfield to fix something, they are bulletproof. Like, they are just the parts it needs, and they will not break easily. Like,
not consumer electronics. This is like built to last.
They are trucks, dude. They are the Jeeps of pinball machines.
I was just thinking of like an Evel Knievel remake where you like have a launch ramp in the middle and like it keeps adding school buses.
Oh, that would be dope. Like that, that made me think of Toy Story 4 where they have the kaboom ramp. I love that shot.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking about that. I was just thinking of like weird mechs.
There was already an Evil
Ramps
pin. They could do another one. Make it like the Elvira series.
Yeah, just launching school buses.
Yeah, right. Sorry. That's right. The estimated production of Lord of the Rings was about 5,000 to 5,500 units. It's considered one of the best games ever made.
Yeah. So they were showing output by this point, because don't they notoriously not?
They don't. In fact, all these numbers, folks, just in case you're unaware, CERN doesn't give numbers. So this is all estimates.
Oh, pin side allows people to say who has it in there. Okay, cool. That's a great way to estimate.
And they estimate stuff. I'm just estimating based on that.
So like a population.
This game, though, is right. This game is actually credited, though, as like the game that saved pinball and Stern. Like, they, up until this point, they had not had a big hit. Simpsons came, arguably close. But you can imagine, these were both in the same year, 2003.
Lord of the Rings was coming out kind of right then, too.
What's that? Sorry, which one?
The modern Lord of the Rings movie series.
Oh, yeah, no, that was tied in right around exactly same time. So it's all based on that. Yeah.
They were on it.
Yeah, no, they were. And so if you had you have The Simpsons and Lord of the Rings in the same year, both of them sold over 5,000 units estimated. Pinball is back, baby. Like, they have found a formula, and they know how to make it work. That takes us to 2007, where we get Spider-Man. Steve Ritchie. It's a Steve Ritchie game. It's fast, flowy, classic Ritchie layout, easily readable rules, 4 villains to defeat, leading to the battle royale. I have only played this game a handful of times. It's based on the Sam Raimi films, but incorporates comic-style art and music. I put they aged better than expected. I must have been high when I wrote that, because the call-outs and music in this game are one of the things that make it horrible to people who can't stand the call-outs and music.
I have no idea.
I think that the game is fun enough to shoot. It feels
looks a bit good in LEDs.
It looks amazing. Like, the game looks...
That lens is brutal.
Yeah, the game looks fantastic. Yeah. I think it does play, like, competently enough that in any sizable lineup, if you're a Spider-Man fan, or even just a Sam Raimi fan, like, you'll absolutely love it. But you're gonna have to get one of the hacked audio packages, or upgrade to a pin sound or something, because the audio is nauseatingly bad. It's so bad. But it's a really fun game. The villains, like, you got Doc Ock and Venom and Sandman and, oh God, who's the other one?
I was just going to say Spawn.
It might as well be Spawn. But it's a game that Stern vaulted it, I think, like 3 times, which used to mean not putting it away. It used to be like their version of a remaster, but they didn't remaster it. They just reproduced it.
Yeah.
So because it was free for them to do that, they just put it back on the line.
Cool.
And speaking of one they vaulted a million times, it brings us up to 2010, which is Iron Man. Iron Man is a John Borg design with code by Lyman Sheets. It is extremely fast, brutal gameplay. It's a game that I did not like when I first played it, but learned to love. The Ironmonger toy in the middle of the playfield that rises up.
Dude.
It has the kickback that shoots right back at you.
Yeah.
I think this game is fantastic. I don't know about you.
Yeah. After my first couple of times of not knowing anything, I actually have like ripped that game in League before.
When you do that, oh dude, it feels so good. Ripping those ramps, we're just like ramp. Or
there's like a little launch ramp too. Like hits a guy.
Yeah, there's the Ironmonger thing in the middle.
Yeah.
There's the ramp to the right, which is notoriously difficult to hit. There's the orbits.
I'm thinking Transformers.
You're thinking Transformers.
Yeah. Okay. Those are almost similar. Yes,
they are.
Aesthetic.
They are, definitely.
Like weird little plastic.
And they were around the same time. I
toys.
actually don't have Transformers on here because...
Is that a Stern? Oh.
It is a Stern.
They look the same.
It's, like I said, almost the exact same time period, I think.
Okay.
I have it in the honorable mentions, but I actually don't have it on this list. The original run was anticipated to have sold only 2,500 units or so, but because the outcry from fans was so loud, like I said, they vaulted it a bunch, and each vault was expected to make another about 4,000 units. So they made their money on Iron Man.
Cool.
Up next in 2011, we get Tron Legacy, another Borg and Lyman game, which a lot of people love. The game is brutal.
Yeah.
It's fast. I gotta say, when I first played it, I was not a fan. I could not get the geometry for some reason. And once I started putting the rules together with the geometry and figuring it out, I was like, this is one of the best games ever made, especially for tournaments. Holy crap.
I just love the like baseball pitching machine in the back, dude. That thing is ripping.
It rips, dude. And it comes back at you like a bullet.
Yeah. Olivia Wilde backlash too.
Right. Who doesn't like that?
My God.
There's nothing wrong with that. The other thing about that game that's amazing to me, though, is, again, with Lyman on code, the code is fucking solid. The fact that the game... So, this would be around the time when... And people still say this shit today, but they don't back it up. Around the time when people start talking about being bored with stuff like multi-ball. And so what does Tron do? It just says the whole game is about multi-balls. And you got, but it does not make them easy to get them at all, and stacking them even harder.
Yeah.
The two spinners and having Cora, and just using, like, it's so simple. There's nothing complicated to do. Just hit the shots.
Yep.
But you can't always hit the shots.
Yeah.
The scoop isn't a bastard place like all scoops are. Most of the people I've ever seen have done the upgrade where there's the little Tron arcade on top.
That thing's so cool.
Yeah, you guys have it on yours. They have it on the violins. I've never seen a Tron without it. And so I just kind of consider it part of the game. It looks badass, but it's not. Tron sold about 3,500 units, which, again, you guys gotta remember, for that time, that was pretty solid. It's a highly sought-after game. It's demanded today. I would not be surprised if we eventually see a vault of it. I would also not be surprised if we see a vault of it without the Daft Punk editions that they had on the LE.
I mean, would you get a big speaker and a sub on that thing?
Dude,
like one of my favorite scores.
It slaps.
Like, it's the Daft Punk crushed it.
Yeah, they did.
Even if they didn't show up to their last Burning Man trash run set, it's all good.
Right.
Still love you guys.
Yeah, that was sad when they broke up. I was sad. Moving into 2012 with AC/DC, Steve Ritchie and Lyman Sheets. One of the only music pins that I actually like. This was the first tournament game that I ever got good at. And it's because I figured out what everyone already knew, which is every shot in the game is backhandable. Like you guys, this is actually like the definition of fan layout geometry, guys. Because you can backhand every shot in the game. You can make every shot in the game with both flippers, I should say. But backhanding most of the shots is possible and much safer. So you just choose War Machine and backhand the spinner all fucking day, and you can, it's a great tournament machine for that reason, because you pick your strat, and then you just do your strat, and whoever does the longest wins. It's perfect pinball.
Yeah, I talked to Matthew Talley at the last tournament about this game.
Yeah.
I might have just been like a little high, but I swear the all red DMD.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like crazy fidelity. Like because it's just the tonation of
I have mine on Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Oh man, I swear you could get depth far better than
in Ghostbusters. They used obviously like a 3D graphic engine to make the dots, and so when you watch the car pull out and stuff, it looks 3D. It looks dope as hell.
Okay, cool.
It's had me actually bridle about putting a color DMD in it. I mean, I'm probably still going to, but like It just looks so cool in red.
Crazier 3D potential. Yeah.
In fact, the only game I'm actually cool with having a only red DMD in is Bram Stoker's Dracula, just because it fits so damn well.
Does fit really well. Like some submarine Hunt for Red October.
That would be dope too.
He's done by Battleship.
That would be dope. Battleship too, but Disney made a movie out of that.
Oh, you have to go into like a photo booth. It's all dark. Like the whole game's in a photo booth. You have a curtain.
That would be sick.
You have weird photos in there.
So for people who don't know, music-based rules where each song changes scoring objectives. It's fast and brutal, but can be tamed. Like I said, everything is shootable by every flipper. For most people, it is considered a top 10 pin and one of the most beloved Sterns ever made. They vaulted this a couple of times too. It had different editions. This sold over 7,000 units estimated.
Wow.
Like, so it's sold. But again, AC/DC is popular as all hell.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine they sold quite a lot of those to Australia as well.
Right. This is when like the rock band like virus hit.
Right.
Everyone's like, we need more music.
Right. We need more music, and we need more music pins.
Yeah.
Which takes us to 2013, and Metallica. John Borg again, and Lyman Sheets again on code. Even before the remaster came out, hugely popular, one of Stern's biggest successes of the decade. Showed Stern can still innovate with mechanical toys and fun coding depth. It really was one of the first Sterns to have toys again. Right? I mean, you had Ironmonger in Iron Man, but that was literally an action figure that they cut the feet off of and stuck in the game.
Yeah.
This actually had Sparky. Right?
Sparky.
It had Dirty Donnie's artwork. I'm actually wearing my Marco shirt with Dirty Donnie artwork on it.
Yes, sir.
So Metallica was, even though people sometimes criticize it for having wood choppy rules, I would say you could criticize it for that when you're playing it one player and trying to feel the game out for depth.
Mm-hmm.
In a multiplayer or tournament situation, the old Metallica still ripped. It was great. It did have some geometry issues, which again is the term people use and never back it up, but I will back it up. That snake was just impossible to hit sometimes. Like, it was just not either. I don't know if it didn't reset right.
Yeah.
Or
that's
if
the thing, right? Geometry could just be the game's not set up.
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
Right. And I mean, the other thing too is I hate even saying that because sometimes you just miss shots. But this felt like it was supposed to grab the ball and it didn't, right?
Yeah.
Like something was supposed to, and now I'm again playing the remaster. The first time I hit the damn snake, it was like ka-chunk.
Yeah.
And just held on to it. So
yeah.
they definitely fixed that in the remaster.
I love that though. God forbid I admit that I sucked at pinball.
Right.
Oh, man.
Moving on to 2013 and Star Trek. I would argue with everybody that Star Trek is when Stern became what it is today. It's a Steve Ritchie with Dwight Sullivan on rules. It was one of the fastest, flowiest games ever with the warp drive,
the Enterprise in the middle.
Yeah,
dude. Oh my god,
one of the best games ever.
I've had some of my best League games on that.
One of the best.
I like
games
be playing and
ever.
everyone's gone. I'm like, wait, oh shoot, like, sorry guys.
It's so dope. It is a pure shooters game. It has great flow. It's approachable for casuals and is deep enough for tournaments and people who want to play on their own. It sold about 5,000 units in 2013, which was great. Again, like I said, the warp shots where, it's like warp 5, warp 6, like you just ripping the fucking thing. And
Anders chair or something.
There's the side ramp, which is actually that shot is typically called like the Star Trek shot ever since it was put in, which is funny because every time Steve Ritchie does something new with that shot,
not the Who, Doctor Who, or
Doctor Who,
or Doctor
Strange.
Yeah, what's the name of that one?
Which one are we talking about?
It's like the robot shots, and it's like doctors all top, yellow.
I think we're talking about Doctor Who.
Yeah, it is called Doctor Who, right? Yeah, Doctor Who, right? That really tight upper, just like, wow.
Oh, yeah. That is what we're talking about. The Doctor Who pin from earlier on.
Yeah.
That's a weird game.
Similar, I'm thinking of that shot's kind of similar.
It is similar.
It's like, whap, like,
it is similar
quick,
like that. Yeah.
You know?
The thing about Star Trek, though, is just how fast you can keep the ball going. Like, I am a cradle and control player, right? Like, my live catches are great. I am, one of those are the things that I'm good at. Is stopping the ball and aiming for a shot.
Yeah.
In Star Trek, you don't have to fucking stop. In fact, it rewards you for not stopping, which is incredible.
How fast you, what are the Houdini kind of does it? Like most efficient.
Very much.
Most efficient magician.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be cool to have two different types of efficiency, though, because you have efficiency in time.
Sure.
And you have efficiency in flips.
Yeah.
You know, I don't flip more than like a couple times.
Right.
Or you just be like, blah, 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 flip, flopping in, but you're like going fast.
Sure.
It'd be interesting to have
that is an
two different
metric.
types of efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elwyn has a lot of modes like that where you only have a certain number of flips to beat the modes.
Yeah, Houdini has that where you get a couple to save yourself.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Moving on to Game of Thrones in 2015. This one is on here because it sold 4,000 units thereabout, and no one can deny how popular Game of Thrones was as a property in 2015. It was everywhere. It was the world at that point. I
still haven't really seen it. I don't know, dude. People are so funny with me. They're like, "Don't you love all fantasy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I just never got to it."
Dude, there's so much to watch, y'all. I mean, like, you need.
I have audiobooks. You know how many audiobooks I listen to?
Yeah, exactly. It is here's the other reason it's on here. It is a strategy-heavy game. There are amazing videos on the Straight Down the Middle channel of, I'm forgetting the dude's name right now, but he did a lot of their live streams, but he did a lot of stuff where he literally just, every video was a different piece of strategy for Game of Thrones. And that's, cool. I love those type of games where it's
deep dive.
Yeah. Walking Dead is similar. It's a very crazy rule set, right? And then, of course, we get to 2016 and Ghostbusters, which
how recent it was? 2016?
Yeah.
Man, dude, for some reason, that seems like a 90s game to me.
It kind of plays that way, except a lot meaner. Ghostbusters is on here because it was their biggest jump forward. Until Ghostbusters, everything was Photoshop standardized art. We finally got the introduction of Zombie Yeti, and he did the entire art package for Ghostbusters, which made it look absolutely amazing.
So sick.
The gameplay is not where it shines for a lot of people. It is one of the hardest games ever made. I personally fucking love it. And unapologetically, like, I will fight people that say it's a bad game.
At least kick them in the shins.
Exactly. But it was really that turning point art-wise where we were suddenly no longer looking at this kind of Photoshop style guide driven art and we're into hand-drawn art again.
Cool.
And it sold well, 5,000 to 6,000 units in 2016. Nothing to sneeze at. Of course, Ghostbusters as a property is huge. This is one of the games that's most requested for being remade. I still ask people, why would you say that? Because most people don't like the actual game.
I'll vote for that, dude.
I'd love a remaster, but I'm saying, like, I think what most people really want is a new game called Ghostbusters. I think people don't want the old one. Because they didn't want it then.
Yeah, no, you just make a new Ghostbusters.
Just do it again, and you could do such a better job.
The Frozen Ghostbusters.
Or do Frozen Empire. Do whatever they want. It was a good movie.
Weird, like, spikes that shoot up everywhere and just like a Plinko.
Right.
That'd be so heavy. Like, you get ice crystals shooting out. Ding, 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 ding. Like, oh, great.
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. That Plinko style of like actual pins. Like, was originally pinball.
Yeah.
Why don't we have that in more games?
Dude, you create you have the cage mechs in Toten that stops the ball.
Right.
You just have that happen in the middle, or like some weird
like shit like that. That was exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, man, that seems like it's a marriage made in heaven for pinball. No,
we're definitely gonna use it, but feel free to use it.
Yeah, folks. Anyone listening, go ahead and take it.
That'd be funny. We'll do like in the Santa Cruz pin I'm doing, we'll do like bamboo giant. It just grows up all fast.
Oh, that'd be dope.
They have Aptos, some like weird South Side mission. It's like clanking through the bamboo.
That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing, especially if you got the Foley with it, the sound, you know, like that's some dum 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 dum.
Oh god, because then you just don't know is it gonna go out or in.
Right. That's
awesome. It's totally like what is it? The Temple of Doom like adventure platform.
Right.
But like it's like sketch. It's like is it gonna go out or in? That's like you don't know.
Right. You could use it for stuff like that.
It's 50-50. 50-50.
I was thinking about this the other day. And I'm like, it seems like it should be there.
We're doing that one.
All right, folks. Honorable mentions. You got Kiss from 2015. Everyone loves that game, but it is so similar to every other game that's like it. It is what it is. Then we got The Walking Dead in 2014. We spent a good portion of the show already talking about that. The reason it is in the honorable mentions list is it did not sell well. A lot of people consider it The Walking Dead, the original Walking Dead. Did not sell that well. It is considered by a lot of people to be a very ugly pinball machine. And the reason you know that, exactly, I don't mind it at all. But I kind of agree with them, and I think it's ugly on purpose. It's The Walking Dead. It's not supposed to be pretty.
Yeah.
Avengers from 2012, which is actually a really fun game. But,
I gotta sit and get better at that. I've never put the time in.
Yeah. The original X-Men from 2012, which is also a fun game.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Huh. There was an original. There were two versions, too. There was Magneto and Wolverine, and that was a big figure in the middle. It was actually that was a great toy that they did before they did a lot of other toys. But it wasn't, that there were the game it just wasn't that fun. Like it was a good game. It was serviceable, but like I wouldn't consider it a banger, and people didn't really buy it as much as people thought they would. Transformers from 2011, we talked about that. Honorable mention, it didn't sell as well as other games in the list. Avatar from 2010, this one was close with sales, but first off, it didn't quite cross the estimated sales. And second, I'm not a big fan, so it gets the honorable mentions list. Dark Knight from 2008, again, not one that sold very well. It has some interesting mechanics. I don't know if you've ever seen that game.
Yeah.
So the bat bike on the side where it like goes down. I love
that game.
It's a pretty fun game.
Dude, Tally brought that in and put it in where the Batman 66 was.
Oh, sweet.
And I was like, it's like almost similar enough.
Yeah.
Where people didn't quite realize it wasn't
that game. It still has the crane with the bat.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God, this game is so much sicker.
Yeah. And then we get the Indiana Jones by Stern in 2008. This is not Indiana Jones Pinball Adventure by Williams back then.
Yeah.
This is the updated one from the new movie in 2008, which was kind of a flop.
It's so hard to succeed in the shadow of like greatness.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Unless you're going to really outdo it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
It's like you look at Mount Everest, like, why don't you just go around it, dude?
Right.
Like, you don't need to try to do that again.
No, it's not doing anything
go around it.
Which is kind of what happened same here with Pirates of the Caribbean. That was actually not the worst game. I got to say this, though. I feel like Dwight Sullivan can absolutely make magic with his rule sets, but sometimes he jumps the shark on his own. And Pirates of the Caribbean has a rule set that's like that, in my opinion. Like it just goes too far, right? Okay. Kind of like how what Star Wars is, not the new one, Fall of the Empire, but the original Steve Ritchie one, right? With the fucking multiplier that you can get like 40x on and stuff. Sometimes Dwight Sullivan just fucking goes right past the mark and just keeps Dwight Sullivaning it up, and we end up with crazy ass rules. But then again, sometimes he reins himself in, and we get masterpieces like Ghostbusters. So I don't know. Dwight, don't stop cooking. Keep making mistakes. I don't care.
Yeah, I like it.
And of course, then we also had the Pirates of the Caribbean by Jersey Jack.
Yeah,
which was
I think's tight.
Just a fucking weird ass great game.
Yeah, I love the compass on that thing, dude.
I love the layout and shooting Pirates of the Caribbean. The rule set makes no sense to me, but I haven't put that much time in on it. A lot of people have it. It's hard to find.
It's like longer than the Bible.
Dude,
it's like 25 players. Dude.
Seriously.
That's so tight.
And then there's World Poker Tour of 2006. I put this in here alongside the next one on the list, which is The Sopranos, simply because people who play those games, fucking love them. Yeah. They will argue that The Sopranos or World Poker Tour have the best rule set of any game.
Can you actually gamble with that?
You probably could.
That'd be so funny.
You probably could. I've actually never played World Poker Tour. Yeah, we're past the era of suspicion. Start doing some fun stuff with gambling.
Yeah, what's it called? Gaming violation.
Exactly.
You never heard it here first.
Yeah. And then finally, Terminator 3 in 2003. I put this on the list because, first off, Terminator 2 was one of Williams' biggest games, right?
Yeah, just all time.
Hands down, one of the biggest games they ever made. Terminator 3 was such an obvious choice to go back to the well on, but the movie shit the bed. And people just weren't having it. So Terminator 3 is a game some people love. I have only played the game once, so I can't give it a full review. But yeah, honorable mention for Terminator 3.
Yeah, I watched some Terminator not that long ago. That was sick.
Probably wasn't Terminator 3. Was it Genesis or whatever?
It was some kind of new one.
Yeah, the most recent one I saw, it was actually good. I think people didn't like it in theaters, but I liked it when I watched it.
Yeah. It was, I forget exactly what happened, but it's like, Rick. Yeah. Did that Terminator 3 have Arnold in it?
Yeah, it did.
So or the pinball?
Yeah.
So I wonder why they had problems getting Arnold in the Predator.
I don't know. Probably because they're pinball brothers.
Someone just forgot to send an email.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Dude, I got to sit behind Arnold in person.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was down at a USC graduation. Or it was a whatever high school.
Sure.
Like a feeder high school for USC. Like lineages and stuff. It was like, and that was so sick. Jamie Foxx and Arnold. And I was like, oh, that's my hero.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Arnold, dude.
Shout out to Arnold. So that is the machines that saved pinball from the 2000 era, folks. What do we got coming up for these lovely people? Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't even shared this with you yet. I have an idea for a segment for the show that could be full shows. Because I always think about like doing reviews and stuff, but I don't want to touch doing plain reviews, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think what we should do is, we talked about this briefly about, I want you to teach me Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
I'll teach you Jaws, but like what I really want to do is a segment called Why I Love right? So
yes,
so
that's actually very creative and productive.
Right, then we can go through the pins that we actually love and talk about why, instead of shitting on anything or talking about stuff that everyone else has already talked about.
Shout out toxic positivity, dude. I'm in.
Toxic positivity, I'll take it. Other than that, repairs. I am working on light that died in the shadow that I got to fix up because they don't make the terminals for it anymore. But yeah, I got that heat shrink from you. I still got to do that fix.
Did you grab some?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
I'm going to do it tomorrow. You got anything you're working on?
Yeah, one thing I haven't dove into yet because it's a little just strange. Houdini, right?
Uh-huh.
For some reason, when you flip the flippers at all, it just starts changing the modes. And that's not supposed to happen unless it's popping off of the pop bumpers. Right. I'm like, oh, man.
Maybe it's an easy thing with just the pop shorting.
Yeah, no, it could be
because that would be the easiest fix, right?
Yeah,
some pop bumper is sending a signal when it's not supposed to.
And it's in such an awkward space here at 9 3/4. It's hard to open. Yeah, so it's like one of those I've been putting off.
We got to get you
the downstairs.
Well, there's that. But I'm saying we got to get you a rotisserie. So you can literally just pick up the play fields out of the machines, take it over to the rotisserie and work on it.
Right.
I realized this the other day.
A lot of unplugging.
It's not that much though. It's just to get it out of the machine. It's like 2 Fords.
Okay.
I did this I figured this out when I was fixing my James Bond last week. I was like, oh shit! If I really wanted to, I could just pick it up.
I do that. I did it on Jurassic Park where I put pins and then it like sat up.
Oh yeah, they make those. That's pretty.
And I was like, oh, it was so nice.
Yeah,
just like see and get under.
Just to get some of those for you. That's better. But I mean, to get to a better situation, a rotisserie would make things easy.
Yeah. I think
anyways, hopefully it's just
one very soon.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just the pop bumper issue. We can.
Yeah. It was just a weird one. It's like one of those things where I'm like, oh man, and then I'm like, oh, it's still playing, whatever.
Right.
Because I've noticed scores have been extremely high on that game lately. I'm like, wait a second, you guys.
All of a sudden, people are just ripping it because of the air.
Yeah. Yep. And those are the things. It's like, it's like, bad girls, it happens every once in a while too.
Yeah.
Or it's like all of a sudden like flipping and it's like getting auto points.
I think that's because of the pop bumper.
Yeah, or a spinner. Sometimes the spinner I can hear because I'm pretty sure the audio that I'll hear it sounds like the spinner's getting rotated.
Interesting.
But those are the ones I'm like, oh man, like tolerances are there.
Yeah, you don't want people scoring when they're not doing anything in a tournament.
Yeah,
that would be the shits. All right, folks. Well, that's what we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with we'll see. We got some interviews lined up coming up. We got that new segment I was talking about, and I'm sure something will break in the meantime. Until next time, this is Lawrence Adams and Dean Robley coming to you from 9 3/4 Pinball Arcade, saying may all your scores be high and may all your balls be extra. We will see you next time.